right, let me show you here. I want to get my water. We're going to do a little painting. Now I have made a base, as I told you, I showed you, I made a base for this project. And here's the base. It's just a piece of oak. I stained it. And I took the cross and glued it to the mound here, and it's gonna fit like this basically. All right. Now, before we do anything, we want to paint the figures. We want to go ahead and get them painted and paint the cross. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to go ahead and paint the cross a white color. Doesn't matter if you get paint on here, because that's all going to be covered up. Covered up anyway. We want to paint the entire cross itself, which is going to, already can see it's going to take several coats, which is no big deal. No big deal at all. Okay. All right. Now, let's take our man, and I'm going to give him some brown shoes. No, I'm going to give him some black shoes, okay? Black shoes. I didn't mean brown. I'm sorry. I spoke too soon. I'm going to give him some black shoes. Okay, go ahead and give him some black shoes. All right, so we've got our black shoes painted here. All right, now I don't want to make him real flashy. I just basically, that to take away that, you know, I don't want it to, so we're going to do just basically brown pants with a brown jacket. All right. Let me go ahead and do this. I don't want to bring a lot of attention to his, you know, like style or anything like that. This is a somber type carving for so I'm gonna go ahead and do his pants in brown. All right. Let's see how this. Yeah, we don't. This is kind of a somber type carving, so we don't want to bring a lot of attention to a flashy dresser. This would be like a son or a friend at the gravesite of a fallen hero. And so I want to make it, you know, I don't want flashy clothes on him and all this other stuff. Brown is a neutral color, so it turns out very well when it's okay. All right, there's our brown our brown pants and him. Okay, now I'm going to use the burnt umber for the coat. There we go. There we go. Burnt umber is a brown also, but it is a much darker brown. And I'm going to use that for the coat. Once again, not to bring a lot of attention to the actual dress. All right, let me take the larger thing right here and just sort of hit it like this. Now I switch to the smaller let's see, going with a darker More eyes, they aren't what they used to be. An old song ain't what it used to be. Yeah, that's what my eyes are. They're not as, I don't see like I used to. That's just called getting old. Getting the inside of the coat here. And there will also be a little antiquing to it. So here we are with the coat itself. Alright, there is the coat. Alright, there's the coat. It's not a whole lot different than the pants, but it's different enough, in other words. Alright, now our next thing is the shirt. Well, missed a little spot there. Our next thing is of course the shirt and the for the shirt, probably a tan color would be nice for the shirt. Alright. Okay, it's like a tan, a yellow tan, in other words, for the shirt. And we'll go ahead and use a red oxide for the tie, which gives it not a real strong red. You don't want a real strong red for this. What in the world is this? Okay, I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna... Oh, that's a... Well, that was just something on the carbine. Oh, okay. I'm going to use just a red oxide, just a little tiny bit of it. Not a real bright red, but just sort of just to give it the... And I will save the red oxide for the face once I put the flesh tone on it. It's just sort of a little red in there. Alright, now let's look and see. The hair would be next. Let me change my water real quick. The hair would be next, and let's go with a, let me see. Let's go with a brown for the hair. I'm just going to go ahead and use that this light brown here for the hair. But not a real dark brown, but a lighter brown. And you do that by using more water. All right. There we go. Now I'm going to get the flesh tone and hit the hand and the hand. And the face. Basically, all I'm going to do is just paint the face, the flesh tone. I like the idea of not putting necessarily a face on him. I like that idea because I did it with the Amish people that I carved, and I liked it. It kind of can indicate that it could be anyone. Looking at the grave, in other words. Where if you're trying to make the person look so. So I like that idea of basically using the, okay. All right. Now, I'm going to let that dry, and then I'll put a little, and I'm going to go back to the cross and give it another coat. I may need more than 2 coats on it too. I don't know yet. We'll see. But you want to make it, you want it to be good and white. Now I know they don't use a lot of crosses today, but I wanted it in the thing. They use headstones, of course, but they use them at Arlington National Cemetery. So this could be basically what the man is looking at, in other words, a fallen hero at the cemetery. All right, well that is done. Now, let me go ahead and go back with the red oxide on the face to just give it a little tinting, and also on the hand. Just give it a little and on the face, just to give it just a little bit of flesh color to it, in other words. Okay. There we go. Now, let me show you basically what's going to happen is the top of the base is going to be covered, and it will set somewhat like this, in other words, and it will be like this. That's all the little place I missed on the back of the jacket. Of course, it'll probably take care of it when I antique the thing. It's going to be similar to that, but then I'm going to use the sand and the grass to finish it. So anyway, we've got our painting done, and then after this, I figured that was going to happen. Doesn't really matter if it got a little paint on the base, but because it's going to be covered with grass anyway. But this will be then glued to the base, and then from there I'll come back and we'll work on the actual piece itself. Now, you're going to need some super glue to work this, and to get it the way we want it. Okay? All right. Well, we'll be back.